Hello everyone and welcome into the FedEx Preview Show. I'm Jonathan Merryman with Chris Rice back in the seat for us. Chris, thanks for being here. Let's get started. Martin Truex Jr., Cole Pearn put a little strategy into Sonoma last year, get the win. How did they do that last year?
They faked it, and now I'm so glad to be back, but they faked it, and that's what you have to do at a road course. You can run different strategies and do different things, but now with the new layout, man, it's going to be quite a bit different. And I'm really excited to watch how that goes. I've seen some simulated time on how it was going to be. I think it's going to be really exciting.
All right, so we are running the carousel again at Sonoma. It's been the first time since we've done that since the 90s. So for a crew chief, for a driver, you mentioned simulator. How key is that for them to go out there with a little bit of knowledge about how things are going to go? Because it's been 20 years since we've done it.
Yeah, it's really key. I watched Austin Dillon run it for probably 3 or 4 hours just trying to get better and better. I talked to AJ Allmendinger this week about how much harder was it going to be this time around than it has been, and he's just talking about the different angles of the racetrack, and it was going to be difficult. You're going uphill, downhill. It's just not as easy as it was just having that little short chute back there. I'm telling you, this is going to create more havoc through the middle part of the racetrack. And what is it going to do for fuel mileage? Because you're going to be on and off the gas, so it's going to be fun to watch.
All right, so you mentioned AJ Allmendinger. When I think of him, I think of pure road course racer, right? He gets it better than anybody else. Not in this race this year. So our normal oval track guys, they've really mastered these road courses. I'm going to list a couple car numbers here. Tell me a little bit about who you like out of this group. The 19's good, the 4's good, the 14's good, the 18's good, the 11's good, the 22's good at road courses. These guys are all winners in this series on a fairly regular basis. So who do you like going into Sonoma out of those guys?
Well, you know, one that you did miss was the 2 car of Brad Keselowski, which I'm telling you, all of those guys are great. I asked AJ Allmendinger, hey, do we have road course ringers anymore? And he said no. You know, Jeff Gordon was the first guy to kind of put those guys to rest. He was the guy that went out and won a lot of races and showed everyone that an oval guy could win. So out of the guys you mentioned, Jonathan, I really like the 14. I feel like they've came into their own. He's in a contract year, and that always seems to bring the best out of a race car driver. So I'm on the 14 this weekend.
Now, Chris, before you dove into the 14, you said I left somebody off that list, the 2 car Brad Keselowski. I did that for a reason. I want to talk strategy, and we all know Paul Wolfe is one of the best strategists in the garage. How much fun is it for a crew chief like Paul Wolfe to sit on top of that pit box and call this race?
It's a lot of fun, especially if you've won and you're already locked into the playoffs. I'm telling you, you can do a lot of different things. You can pit short knowing that you need 5 caution laps, or knowing that you need to do something different, that you need to run about a half a second slower to be able to save fuel. So you can do a lot of things that makes the racing interesting for us, but also makes it exciting for you on the pit box, because when you pit short and you're about to run out of fuel, I'm telling you right now, you're sitting up on that pit box going, oh my goodness, we're gonna run out of fuel. So it's exciting to watch, but also exciting to sit on the pit box.
All right, so who are you picking this weekend?
I'm going with the 14. I feel like Clint Bowyer, it's his time. He's gonna win a race, get himself locked in. And this racetrack, I feel like kind of owes him one. He's always fast there. He's always there at the end and always does something crazy or something happens to him. If they can finish the race, the 14 brings home the checkered, just like Tony Stewart did a couple years ago.
All right, I think Denny Hamlin, who lost out to Tony Stewart a couple years ago with that kind of last lap door ding there he got, I think he rebounds himself, picks up his first one in Sonoma.
Well, he's close, but not as close as I, so you better stay on the 14.
All right, where you can see if I'm right and Chris Rice is wrong, it's going to be Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time on FS1. It's the Toyota Save Mart 350. We're road course racing in California.